So, under the concepts of memory, till now we have discussed about the three concepts as of memory as a types, under which we talked about explicit memory, implicit memory, then stages. We talked about sensory memory, short-term memory, long-term memory, and then we talked about your memory as a process, where we talked about encoding, storage and retrieval. Now once we are done with this, there are certain further concepts which are related to memory. So there are different types of memory related terms being coined. So these are the one which we have already discussed as a part of short term memory, that is a working memory. So we can take it as a separate concept as well, where the STM is not a passive storehold, but rather a workbench that holds a wide variety of memory materials that are constantly handled, manipulated, transformed as a people perform various cognitive tasks. This work branch is called working memory. So, working memory, as we have already seen, that the process through which we can remember anything within the short-term memory. So that process, either we are modifying certain things, we are manipulating certain things, we are interpreting certain things, drawing a meaning for anything. So all these are going to be part of our working memory. Now thereafter, when we look forward for other concept, that is called flashbulb memory. This flashbulb memory is related to, these are the memories of event that are very arousing or surprising. Such memories are very detailed. They are like a photo taken with an advanced model camera. So flashbulb memory, which is going to give you all the glimpse related to set of information which you've been exposed earlier. Now in this particular case, you've been given all the information which is available to you as a part of your past experiences or past memory, past incidences. So these are something which is available as a part of whole detailed information, and sometimes when you've been recalling this particular memory, it is a kind of surprise element which is available to any individual. Maybe certain set of information that person was not expecting to be available to him or her being available in front of that individual. So they are like a photo taken with an advanced model camera, which we can see, which is depicting each and every dimension of the information. The another is your implicit memory, which we have already seen. That is, a recent study have indicated that many of the memories remains outside the conscious awareness. So as we have seen explicit and implicit memory, so there, that is the similar concept which is available, where we are not formally informed about certain set of information, but that particular information reaches to us. Another which is available, that is autobiographical memory, where the personal memories are available. These are not disturbed evenly through, distributed evenly through our lives. Some periods in our lives produce more memories than the others. So when we look forward for individuals life related memories, somehow we have discussed under your experience dimensions as well. But the individual, like when the person is writing autobiography kind of dimension, the person tries to recall all those set of information which that person exposed to. So that is for while recalling, while writing that particular thing, the person is in a state that the person cannot come up with each set of information in a properly available manner. So when we look forward for the autobiographical memory, this autobiographical memory consists all set of information which is an individual has gone through, and that also come across with the memory which is being available to any individual, but that is not evenly distributed. The person when tries to collect all the past incidences, that is not evenly available in a sequence, not available to the individual that has to make a sequence out of that set of information. Now certain things, as an example, which is the no memories are reported pertaining to the early childhood, particularly during 4 to 5 years of individual. This is called childhood amnesia. This is a dramatic increase in the frequency of memories just after the early adulthood. So the things retains like 4 to 5 years of age. The child is not capable of keeping that particular memory in mind. So that is childhood amnesia kind of things which we can consider. The next dimensions which we'll be covering within this, that will be the theories related to memory. Now, when we talk about theories of memory, these are being divided into three dimensions, as if we have discussed about all these, but we'll be just generalizing how the information being spreaded with respect to memories in the previous lecture. So when we look forward for these memories, the first which is available, theory of general memory process, second is information processing theory, and the last is level of processing theories. So the first which is available, it is consisting theory of general processing memory, which is consisting the stages like encoding, process, encoding, storage, and retrieval, which we have seen. So it is considered as three cognitive processes which are available, which we have discussed in detail earlier. The next which is available, that is called information processing theory, where the information is processed in the mind of individuals. Now this particular thing which we have studied till now, that is studied as a stage model, or we can say stage aspect of theories. So that is your sensory storage, short-term storage, and your long-term storage being available. So how we retrieve the information, that can be seen through the multi-store model of memory, Atkinson and Striffen, where we get all the retrieval of information on the basis of rehearsal we carry for the information received. So short-term memory information being rehearsed, and then that reaches to the long-term memory of any individual. And if we are not properly able to rehearse that particular thing, then that will be not reaching, and that will be forgotten within the duration of 18 seconds, as we have discussed in the previous lecture. The last which is available as a theory of your memory, that is level of processing theory, given by Craig and Lockhart. According to this theory, there is only one kind of memory, and the ability to remember depends upon depth of information processing. If the information is processed in a superficial and shallow level, the forgetting will be more. And on the other hand, if the information is processed deeply, it will remain in the memory for a long time, help us, and it helps us to remember when needed. So if we look forward for level of processing theory, how the memory related to anything will be available for longer duration, that will be depending upon that how deeply we have processed the information. If the information with the logics, facts, and all the understanding being processed within the mind of any individual, then it will have a higher probability of being retained within any individual's mind. Whereas in case if it is not available or if it is not being taken in such order, it is being just superficial information, superficial way of getting through these particular set of information, then the information will be not retained. So as if when we look forward for the concept of your memory, we have reaches to the aspect of three memories theories, and all these we have discussed in the previous lectures too. Thank you, everyone.